Here are some highlights of this program.
Hello everybody.
Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Mechanics, electricity, computer science, innovation,
And we know that is a brainstorm.
Yourself, after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brand new one. Hello everybody and welcome to Brainstorm Broadcast. How can learning and improving your English skills open doors to education, opportunities around the world, even career growth, help people move forward? Now today's theme is opening global opportunities through English. Joining us on this program is Zadok Batavalina. Zadok Batavilana. All right. So Zadok Batavilana is a CEO of HTC and ZAC Events. All right. And you're welcome to today's program.
Yeah, I'm really extremely grateful that you have given me this precious time one more time because this is not my first time, the second time to be here on this stage, and I'm really I really appreciate. So it's a big honor. As I said, so I'm Zadok Batavilana, the CEO of HTC, stands for IS Training College, and the Chief Executive Officer of ZAC Events.
Okay, that's a great. Today's program, as we want to focus on this theme, opening global opportunities through English, we're going to cover many things. I know it's been a while because you've invited for the first time and the second time as well. You are here and then you're going to break down some of the concepts in English in a modern world. The first question is, why has English become an important global language today?
Yeah, thank you very much for this question. So as we're talking about opening global opportunities through English, so this question is very interesting because English is widely used in international communication, business, technology, and environments. And also English connects people from different parts of the world and creates more opportunities.
All right, that's good. It sounds really interesting, the definition of why, the reason why English has become an important global language today. Please, this video will highlight how English has become a global language. Please take a look at this and we'll be back.
English, a global language. Over the centuries, English has grown from the language of a relatively small area, England, to a global idiom. According to some estimates, almost 1 billion people use English as a first or second language. This process has given birth to many varieties of English. Quite a feat. But how did that all happen? Let's see. The spread of English to other countries began with British colonialism from 1600 to 1900. That took the language to North America, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and to the countries of the British Empire, where English became mixed with the native languages. The political and economic importance of the British Empire and of the United States helped make English an international language. Today, it has become the language of technology and the main language of the Internet, of popular music and culture. English is also the main language in international business, science, diplomacy, aviation, sport, international competitions, and advertising. In short, it is the lingua franca of international communication. All of this makes people all over the world want to learn English to be able to function in the present-day global world. A French computer engineer even decided to invent a simplified form of English to make international communication easier. His language, Globish, has a simplified grammar and no idioms, and uses only 1,500 English words. He guarantees that this is enough to express just about anything. English has also contaminated other languages. This took place as the people of various countries started using English words within their own languages. This phenomenon has created many Englishes, or many mixtures of English and other languages throughout the world. Spanglish is an example. It's a fusion of Spanish and English. Chinglish, instead, is the incorporation of English words into Chinese. Then there's Italianish, a version of Italian heavily dependent on English words. Here are some examples. You might be a teenager and a millennial who likes to chattare, twittare, andare sui social, or downloadare music. One day you might have a part-time job, and at work you might have to schedulare un meeting with your manager to decide the company's mission. During the weekend, you might go jogging or camping, or you might go to the cinema to see a sequel or a B-movie. Or are you fashion and prefer to go shopping for something trendy?
All right. How does English connect people from different countries and cultures? So it
Yes.
is a fact. So how does English connect people from different countries and cultures?
Thank you very much for this question. So we have to know that English acts as a bridge between cultures. Why have I said like this? Because people from different countries can communicate, share ideas, study together, and do business more easily when they speak a common language like English. That's why we can say that it's really important to know English, because it connects people.
Do you believe that without English, people can make it in the world today?
So about this question, I have to be so clear, okay, to young people, because young people can not really succeed internationally without English today. It's kind of tricky, because with English, it's going to, to open doors for young people. They can have the access of studying even abroad just thanks to English. But if you do not know more about English, it's going to be difficult for young people.
All right, it's true we is talking about English starting from the beginning, in the earlier time that people would learn English and would even speak it, but now things have changed a great deal in modern times. And right now you have connected English language with education. So we're going to move to the another question, second part in this second session, and another question. How can English improve educational opportunities for students?
Yes, English allows students to access international scholarships, for instance. You know, with English, you can study abroad. I will take an example over. So I remember when I was teaching English at New York College to Mr. Christian Biaya, the president of New York College. So I was teaching a lot of students, and among them I can cite Rina Mangenda and Ocean Ngalula. So those girls, so it's an experience. They are here, they are living in DRC, but they were studying in USA thanks to English, because I was teaching them, they mastered the language, and they were studying in US. So this is the reason why I can say that with English, we can talk about improvement in education.
Improvement in education as well as opportunities around the world. Since you mentioned a scholarship, let me tell the truth, because you are explaining things from your experience. But let me tell the truth that students from Congo, once they land in other countries like US and Canada, they have a hard time practicing their English or interact with other people. Yeah. What is the real root cause of that? The root cause is because they have not mastered the language. It is the method or the approach used to teach them English. You yourself, can you tell us what is wrong? Because those getting scholarship there, sometimes they fail to have a clear interaction.
Yeah, so about this problem, it's if you know English, it's going to be easy for you. It's going to facilitate your learning. But if you don't master the language, this can be one of the obstacles, all right? And apart from the culture of the country that you are studying, you know. But if you master the language and you are learning more about the culture, maybe we can talk about USA. You know how things are really going on over there. So it's going to be easy for you to succeed. But if it's the contrary, then you can fail.
So it means that the professors or teachers, they have no problem. It means everything is up to the student, how he apply what he learned,
Of
how he
course.
applies what he learned from homeland before traveling, before going there as
Absolutely.
well. But even though you are not a college professor, a university professor, what is the contribution of English in academic research?
Yeah, in academic research, we're going to say that English is very important because a lot of documents, a lot of books, so are written in English. So with English, it's going to facilitate, so for those students and researchers who understand English can access more knowledge and contribute globally. But for those who don't master, it's going to be difficult, sir.
Thereby, you mean that those doing research, academic research in other languages like French, Spanish, cannot make it or be successful without knowing English or doing research resorting to English language?
So for those who don't master the language, they will have, what they're looking for. But it's not going to be so really deeper than those who master English. This is the difference.
All right, so you, from your experience, even from what you heard from other people, especially teachers, what challenges do students face when learning English in our country, the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Yeah, so in this question, as I'm going to talk as a teacher, because as I said, I'm a teacher of English with over 10 years of experience. So the first problem is we don't live in English-speaking country. So we are living in French-speaking country, DRC. But apart from what I said, living in French-speaking country, students, when they are learning English, it can be at centers, but after that, in the streets, the first people who don't speak English. So which means that the environment, it's one of the obstacles. And apart from that, I will also talk about qualified teachers. So in some centers, they just there to teach English, but they don't really have qualified teachers. And that is going to be something that is going to block students to master the language and to better speak English.
All right, so we are quite well aware about the fact that students, after leaving college or university, they move to a job market, to job place, just to find a job, to find a career. And this moves to shift from education to career opportunities with English, of course. How can English help young people find better jobs?
Yeah, it's about this problem. I'm going to say that they have to learn English because many companies prefer candidates who can communicate internationally. And English opens doors to better, as I said, better careers, remote jobs, and international organizations. So it's better to learn English because you can be there, you master, maybe you have started with, you dealt with, let's take law or maybe computer science, and they are looking for a computer scientist. So nowadays, the English is going to be one of the criteria. And as it's going to be one of the criteria, they're going to prefer somebody who masters the language. English are we talking about. But if you don't master, you will not be the one who is going to be hired. So that's why young people, you have to learn English. So studying, going to university, is not a problem, but do your best to learn English, to master, because nowadays when you go to look for the job, guys, one of the criteria is English.
All right, one of the criteria is English. I can understand from my perspective or the audience perspective that you refer to international organizations where someone can go to apply for a job.
Yeah.
But what about public state, public administration, even states providing job to local or citizens? You think that English is one of the criteria as well?
Yes. Nowadays, English is everywhere. English is very important because you can be hired in public or public job. I can talk about it, but they also are different meetings that are hosted in English. So you can be there hired, but if you don't master, once they gonna come, it's gonna come. You know, you have a meeting, an English meeting. So how are you going to be able to understand the facts? It's going to be tricky for you. But if you master, you will have no limit. English meeting, you're gonna attend. French meeting, you're gonna attend. This we don't need young people to be stuck somewhere. That's why we're talking about it. So you have to learn English to master, because it's very important, crazy important, I'm telling you.
All right, I can understand that from local investment or even foreign investment, it means that public or private companies, English is a must, is all needed as well.
Yeah.
As we talked today about modernization, we went to do things globally, having even a global perspective. The following video will highlight the building English proficient to workforce. So please take a look at it and we'll be back.
It started with a meeting. My company was opening a manufacturing plant in Turkey to produce components for electric vehicles. Our VP of Global Operations stressed that we needed to hire a management team that could communicate in English in time for the launch in June, in 6 months. That's where I came in. We received a lot of applications, all with promising CVs. But with each passing interview, we realized these candidates did not have the English language proficiency that we required. We had to try something else. An HR colleague of mine had a suggestion: the TOEIC tests. They measure the English communication skills needed to succeed in everyday business. I called to learn more about the TOEIC tests. They explained how requiring TOEIC scores on our job applications would help us screen applicants. We decided to use the tests. Now, we were finally finding the candidates with the English skills we were looking for. The plant opened on time and with the right team in place.
Every day, around the world, the TOEIC program is helping companies navigate a global landscape through the power of proven English proficiency. English is your gateway to the world.
All right. Now, why do international companies prefer employees who speak English? That's what we know.
Yeah.
One of the key factors is that the knowledge of English. And we've reportedly heard that people say, no, I would find a job. Should I know English?
Yeah.
I would just find a job. So why do international companies prefer
Yeah, so international companies prefer employees who speak English. Why? Because at first, international companies operate with partners and clients from different countries. So that's why employees who speak English can communicate effectively, represent even the company, professional, and also they can work in multicultural environments. That's why they really prefer employees who master English.
What you've just gone through in your training of English, you'll receive many people from different walks of life. You have people who deal with law, medicine, business, and journalism. So how important is English in professional fields? Those people, what did they tell you about English? Why did they want to learn, and how English is important in those fields?
Yeah, about this, they told me that a lot of our professional documents are in English. Okay, this is the first. Trainings in English, technologies, and international collaborations are available mainly in English. That's why English is very important. So nowadays you can be there dealing with medicine. So it's better to master English. I remember one of my English teachers, named Dr. G. Spak Maele. So the one is one of the guys who we can call him a physician. Okay, he's a physician and he masters English, and it really helps him to deal with the domain easily. He can learn even online because he masters the language. And as I said, a lot of documents, drags also in English. So that's why it's very important to master the language even in different domains. As we say, medicine, law, and other fields.
Okay, so now we shift to English and global communication. Let's say you work in a company where you are not only Congolese, but you mix with international workers. They come. How could communication be easy or be smooth using English as an international language?
Yeah, people can work together at first, despite cultures. Okay, during the international meetings, they will have the facility. Okay, the facility of speaking English. So it's very important. You are not living in. So you are living in DRC, but you travel abroad. You are studying there, or you working there. So if you master English, you will not have a problem. You have questions, you can talk directly, okay, to your co-workers without looking for an interpreter. Somebody is going to be there to interpret. But if yourself, you master the language, it's going to facilitate your communication. You will not have even controversy.
All right. Suppose you are now a businessman where you speak only English, so you want to expand your activities globally. Yeah. You come to the Democratic Republic of Congo. What would you do to help people learn English? Because English is one of the criteria of finding a job. Yeah. You, as a businessman, you want to invest in the Democratic Republic of Congo with only English as your language. You want to help other people get a job. What would you do?
Here in DRC?
Here in DRC. That's an example.
But you only know English.
Only know English.
So
English. As Congo, as a French-speaking country, what would you do from your own experience? How could you help expand your activities, especially in the DRC, a French-speaking country?
So in DRC, I will be clear about this situation. Nowadays, a lot of people know how to speak English. So I don't really think it's going to be an obstacle. And as a teacher, we are not living, as I said, in an English-speaking country, but let me tell you something. One of the methods when we are teaching students, I used to say I will teach English in English. So I use gestures and some other methods. It's the same thing with somebody who only masters English, can be there and expose, talk about his business, but is going to find ways to help them to master, to know what is really talking about. So this is the problem.
English is very important, even super important nowadays. Like people can have access to information and technology and innovation. So we need to have also motivation and prepare at the same time the future. So what is the best methods for improving spoken and written English as teacher of English?
As teacher of English?
The best methods for improving spoken and written English.
Yes, as I said about this motivation and the feature. So those people who want to learn English, so about this written English and also spoken English. So we got a lot of methods. So I remember when I was learning English with my father, he used to tell me that I have also to watch videos in YouTube, so online videos, and speak English to be natural, right? Speak naturally English, and also read more, because to become somebody who masters the language, you have also to do your best to read English books, novels, and so on. Those books are going to help you to master the language. So, you have to speak English, talk anyhow, read podcasts, YouTube videos, motivations. So those things are going to help you.
All right. The following and last video we're going to watch is entitled, "What Will English Look Like in the Future?" Please take a look at it and we'll be back.
Trying to predict the future of a language is a notoriously unreliable business. Writing in 1877, the linguist Henry Sweet, probably better known today as Bernard Shaw's Henry Higgins, predicted that in 100 years, the English spoken in Australia, America and Britain would be mutually unintelligible varieties. Now, of course, that hasn't come true. But one way of predicting the future might be to look back at the past. The way that English is used today as a lingua franca, that's a variety spoken by speakers of other languages to communicate with each other, has some parallels in the way that Latin was used in pre-modern Europe. So after the fall of the Roman Empire, Latin continued to be used in its classical form as a written standard language long after the Roman Empire had fallen. But the spoken Latin continued to change, giving new dialects and ultimately the rise of new languages, what today we call Italian, French and Spanish. And the way that English is being spread across the globe today is giving rise to new interlanguages, forms of English mixed with the languages spoken by those using it as a second language. So for instance, in Singapore, the government continues to try to promote standard British English using its Good English campaign. But in fact, it's the mixed form of English, what's called Singlish, a form of English with features of Malay and Chinese that is still spoken in the homes and on the streets of Singapore. And in America, the variety known as Spanglish, a mixture of Spanish and English, is now spoken by millions of people, many of whom use it as a native language. We might think of it, therefore, as a language in its own right. So as English continues to spread across the globe in this way, it seems likely that the future of English is actually a future of multiple Englishes.
All right, now the last two final questions I want to ask you before we conclude. What advice would you give to beginners who are afraid of speaking English, and what message would you like to share with young people about learning English for the future? And then we conclude.
Okay, thank you very much for these two last questions. So at first, what advice would I give to beginners who are afraid of speaking English? So don't be afraid of learning English. So about some students, they're afraid of committing mistakes. But let me tell you guys. So I can cite Rachel and Didi, who is learning English. Some of my students, Mam Tete, Impili, and some other guys. So do not be afraid of making mistakes. In fact, encourage people around you to correct you as often as they can. So, when you are still learning English, so sometimes you say, big cheese, you know, I got a problem over committing mistakes. So don't worry. Do not abandon. Do not surrender. You have to keep it up, and then you go master the language. So a message that I would like to share with young people about learning English for the future. So English is not just a language, guys. It's a tool for success and global opportunities. So young people should really invest in learning English because it can change the future and open doors worldwide.
Thank you so much for joining us, Zadok Bata Vilana. It was really fantastic, this great conversation we had through this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, opening global opportunities through English. It was a wonderful talk show we had today with our guests on set. We discussed the issues about opportunities, global opportunities with English, so you are encouraged to learn and improve your English skills so you have all the opportunities to do so, even locally. And it was very important for a guest who watch, even guests who come here on this platform, to prepare to explain things as clearly as our guest today, Zadok, explained things clear for audience to watch about English. But there are other topics to be dealt with in a day's ahead. Please keep tuned on the second national channel, RTC de Développement. Bye. Here are some highlights of this program.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Mix, electricity, computer science, innovation, yeah.
And we know that this brainstorm.
You yourself, after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brand new one.